Calvin.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real.
Okay.
How do you feel? Like, how do you feel about religion? Not how your parents raised you to feel. How you think you should feel.
How
Do you really
do
feel?
I feel? Not
Yeah.
what anybody told me about it. How do
Yeah.
I feel about it? Like,
Yeah, like
what do
you're
you
not
what do you
supposed to
mean?
feel like if you don't think you're supposed to feel this way. Just how do you feel about it?
I don't really feel any negative nor positive way towards it.
Like
The
Christianity
way
is different from religion because you can be a Christian,
it
you can believe in God
it
and
is,
Jesus,
you.
but
I
the
mean,
religion
like
part of it.
I'm like, to be brutally honest with it, I think it's all phony. You know why? Well,
Why?
nowadays it's phony.
Why?
I mean, yes, I believe the Bible. You know, I believe what it says and all. But I mean, you know, you really got to question these things. You know, like you're told something growing up as a kid. You know,
Yeah.
and if you refuse to learn anything else, anything at all, and you stick with what you were taught, it doesn't matter what religion it is. How are you gonna know that's the right one for you as an individual?
Yeah.
You should be allowed to go and, just see or, take part in certain things. But I feel like you can worship God sitting on a toilet. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter where you're at. You don't need a building and somebody to stand up on a stage behind a microphone to tell you about God. If you want to know about God, just take a look out your front door. God's everywhere. You know, people just, I mean, like, it boggles my mind sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about it.
And like I don't think you could really think about this stuff if you are a full-blown Christian. Because full-blown Christians don't think about the what ifs. They don't think about, okay, what if God isn't real? I mean,
Yeah.
even the
You know, that's
hardcore Christians have thought that, but if you have never thought that,
That's
you're just keeping yourself
does
ignorant
yeah.
because you're not
To tell
allowing
you
yourself to learn.
To tell you the honest truth, deep down, I always thought that to myself. You know, like, what if there is no higher being? You know, like,
Yeah, and you're
what
sitting here wasting
what
your
if
life trying to be
everything?
this perfect person
What if
for no
exactly?
reason.
What if everything that we know that's happening, going on around us at this very moment, isn't just a figment of someone else's imagination? It's
Not
just a
even
piece of dust
not even that.
floating, you know?
I mean, you could sit here and look and you know that something amazing created everything around us. You can look at the universe and
I mean,
tell it's
yes,
so beautiful that there's something out there.
I mean,
But the fact that like
Th-
it
that's-
just seems really
that's-
weird, and
Yeah.
people like I said earlier, like we had that conversation earlier about how it just seems cult-like. People singing songs about how great this man was, preaching this, saying you don't have to worry about things in your life. You could put all the worries on one man
but that's
dead.
just it. You have to worry, though. You
Like, you
can't.
can't worry,
Let's
you
say,
wouldn't live a
let's say
happy
you
life.
buy a car. Let's say you buy a brand new car. You put a down payment on it. You know, you start paying it. You decide you don't want to pay it. You tell someone else to pay it. You think they're really gonna pay for that?
Yeah.
No, they're not. You know, if they're not, like, and you tell them, you give them a set of rules. You say you can't drive it, you can't touch it. It's gonna be far away from you. Just pay the bill. You think they're gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm fine with that? No, nobody's gonna be fine with that. And that's kind of the way people are making religion out to be. They're making it out to be a brand new car. But it's not, you know? That's not the way things work.
It's just
I mean, yes, I know I'm not the best Christian in the world. I'm not even the best person in the world by any means. But like, you just can't expect God to do all the work. You have to
or
put
Jesus.
forth a
Like a lot of
tremendous
them,
effort.
a lot
Or
of them see
Jesus,
Jesus
yeah.
as this. Like Jesus was a man who had amazing powers. He had the powers of God, and he used that to teach us. And what we should do as Christians
Exactly.
is learn from his teachings, not praise his ever
Exactly.
living flesh and blood, and expect him, this dead demigod, to fix all of our problems. When, as a human being, you're supposed to handle your own problems. God gave us free will for a reason.
He did. That's a good point. He did give us free will. You know, he gave us the the right to choose what we want, to do what we want with our lives. But the one thing that I really wished he would have gave us is the purpose for our being.
Yeah.
Nobody knows that, you know. Nobody at all.
I just
The
believe
the
our
thing I
purpose.
like,
Oh, you can go.
yeah. The thing I like to believe is, well, I like to tell myself because it's rather kind of funny to me, is he just accidentally, you know, created us and was like, hey, this is a fun hobby, and just kept doing it. You know, that's kind of funny to me, you know, because it's like, hey, we're a hobby, you know, when you think about it. But you know, that's sadly probably not the case, and the world's never gonna know the purpose for humanity.
I like to think that our purpose, God put us down here to, be happy, do what makes us happy. And
Yep.
sometimes we don't know what that is, but when we find it, we know there's no other feeling like that happiness. I also feel like He put us down here that no matter how happy we make ourselves, to help people. Not help people because you're a
Yeah.
Christian, not help people because, oh, I should help this person so people think that I'm a good person. Just help people. I mean, like, I don't like missionaries. Like when churches go on these mission trips, because they're going to these disaster areas, and most of the time they're preaching about God, and they're telling people they should believe in God after this storm, when most of these people just want the help. They probably don't even believe in God at that point, because like their homes have been destroyed, they don't know how they're going to take care of their kids, just all this different stuff. Go there, be a good person, and just help them
You know,
eat, help
that's a
them
good
rebuild.
that's a that's a good point. I'm happy you brought up missionaries, because the way churches do it, sometimes some churches, now I don't know about all of them, but most of them, you know, from what I hear and all that, I never went on one of those things. I thought it was phony. You know, it was just what's that word? Kind of like they're just, you know, showing off or fronting or whatever.
Yeah.
What was it called? Yeah, well, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you know, that's just what it feels like and looks like to me, because you know they go way over to a different country to help.
And
And
most
then
of the
you
time
look
it's just a
here in
field
America.
trip for these kids to get the experience to say that they've
Yeah.
been to another country.
Then you look here in our own country at all the people that don't have religion or anything. They don't have nothing. They're homeless, you know? Why aren't they helping them? Why are they going way across the sea to help somebody? Why aren't they doing it here in their own country with their own people? Yes, I know it's good to go and help others, but when you have people here that need help, why are you just packing up a bunch of things that people here can, you know, use for certain, you know,
And the things with
and just
Irma and
send
Harvey,
over there? Yeah, Yeah, like
The
right
fact
now
that
with Irma and Harvey, those
all these
people need
all these
help.
Christian groups are going
Like,
to give out
they need help
Bibles and
bad.
just all this different stuff. They're giving out Bibles when these people would probably just rather like a hot bowl of spaghetti for their kids.
You want to know what I think right now about
What?
them handing them Bibles during all this? I think they're just going to burn the Bible for heat. Just
I mean, I
stay
don't think they
alive
would
another
go that
day.
far because a lot of them would feel bad about
I
burning the
mean,
Bible. But if that's what
you
needs to
never
be
know.
done to have heat, then
Yeah, you never know. I mean, I got about 9 or 10 Bibles in my room right now. Because, you know, like, it kind of makes me feel safe, you know? To know that I have them, you know? For if the situation arises, for whatever occasion or reason, you know, I'll have a Bible. But yeah, it's like, don't hand them a Bible. Hand them a bottle of water or something, you know?
yeah, give
Hand
them a
them
hot
something they
meal.
can use.
Don't tell them they're going
Yeah.
to a hot place if they don't repent. Give them a hot meal, a pat on the back, and let them know that you'll be there until they're better. And even if you can't be there to help until everything's rebuilt, or at least things go back to somewhat normal. Because I remember after Katrina, it was like 5 years until it felt like
Oh
everything
yeah,
was
it
normal.
was terrible.
I mean, even when we were young,
It still
it
doesn't
still
really
felt
feel like it, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
It's like,
you may not even be able to let them know that there will be people there.
yeah.
Like if I had the money,
Yeah.
I hope and pray one day I'll be rich. I want to start a program, multiple programs actually, where I want to help through theater, through the arts, help these disaster areas. I haven't figured out how to do it, but like maybe have a performance and let these people in
Hey,
disaster
yeah,
areas
that's
come
what I
and
was about
watch,
to say.
get their mind.
You
Like when
can-
Trump with the Harvey, he went and they had an area for kids to play and get their mind off of what just happened. He went around and
Yeah.
handed the kids toys and he didn't tell them to be sad about what they went through. He didn't tell them that the whole country is mourning for them. He went and told them that things were going to get better, to be safe and have a great time.
Yeah.
'Cause
See,
the
I
worst of it
understand
was
what
over.
you want to do. And one way you could do that is you could have a bunch of, like, you know, different little concert type things, you know,
And shows
going
and
on,
stuff,
like little
and just
theater,
have
like
food
shows and
given
stuff,
out.
and have it as a, like, if you couldn't have the shows where the disaster actually happened, you can take those shows and use it as a charity type deal. You know, like you could take the money and buy stuff and give it to the people that actually need it, you know?
Yeah.
Or you could take the money and use like some of the money to get the show and all and bring it to the disaster place. And like, you know, like with the rest of the money, you could help buy, you know, like food, clothes, appliances, whatever's needed. You know, whatever you could do to help.
Jimmy Carter.
You know,
Jimmy
it's
Carter
what
was
you should
a
do.
horrible president. He, like, it wasn't entirely his fault. He just had bad things happen at bad times that he could not deal with. Like George Bush. George Bush gets blamed for being
Yeah.
evil. He just had things that happened during his presidency that he did not have the skills to deal with.
I don't. You know, that's like my thing. I don't blame the presidents. I don't blame them.
Like Jimmy
You know who
Carter.
I blame?
Who?
I blame the people in America. Because
They make it
people know
hard.
better.
Like Obama.
They make it harder to help them out.
I didn't like
I mean,
Obama.
I didn't
I didn't like
vote for
Obama as a
Obama.
man.
He wasn't one of my favorite, but I wasn't boasting him, you know.
Yeah, I didn't like. Obama
I didn't
as
want
a
him to do
man.
bad. I wanted him, yeah.
But when
mean,
things
he-
happened, he could bring the country together in one speech. Now, in
Oh,
policy,
he could.
His policy was just awful.
It was ridiculous.
But with a speech, just words, he could bring
No.
this country together. Trump cannot speak. Every time he speaks, more people get angry, and then he gets angry that the people getting angry. But in his
The
policy,
reason
he is
people
really
get
helping
angry
right
at him,
now.
though, is one of the reasons people get angry at him is because if you ever really look at all the rallies and stuff, at the type of people that are in those, that are shouting at him,
Oh yeah,
wanting him out and all.
yeah.
Yeah, just look at the people. That's all you got to do.
These are
No, I'm not
people
trying to
that
be
have
racist or
never been told.
segregating or anything, but look at them.
It's these
You know,
people that
like,
have
if
been
you
told that
just...
they have been right for 8 years. They've been told that they're the smart ones out of the country. That they have Hollywood on their side. They have movies on their side. They have politicians on their side.
And
They are the ones that are
now,
right. So when half the country tells them they're wrong, that we need Trump as president, the only thing they can do is freak
they
out
get angry.
at the symbol that proves that they may
Yeah.
not be right. Like, there are liberal policies that I tend to enjoy, or I may not enjoy
Yeah.
them, I may not agree with them, but I understand why they're a policy. Like gay marriage,
That
I don't approve
that
of gay
reminded
marriage,
me of
but
something.
I mean, why can't people be happy?
I mean,
Abortion, I don't
You
believe
know,
in abortion,
that's-
but people are going to do it anyway.
that's my
Why let them
thing.
kill themselves?
My thing is, like with the gay marriage and all that, and the abortion and all, the gay marriage, I don't really care. You want to you're a guy that wants to marry a guy, hey, have at it. You do you, okay? Like this. All marriage is a piece of paper and a ring. That's
Yeah.
all. That's all it is. And
Like-
abortion, that thing's been around for ever. Like, legit ever.
I don't support
And-
it. I don't think the
and
government
just-
should pay for it.
Just recently, nah, the government definitely shouldn't pay for it. But just recently, if you realize this, people start freaking out over it. When it's been happening for, I don't know, maybe a million years or so. Or like, since they discovered it, Or whatever happened during the time of the creation of abortions.
And people
It's
are gonna
been,
do it
a
anyway.
thing.
Like, they're gonna do
People are gonna do it anyways.
coat hanger abortions.
Nobody-
And that's just dangerous.
Yeah,
Let
they're
them
gonna
kill
find
themselves.
ways.
Like, if they want
They
it,
don't-
they could pay for it themselves. But don't make it to where they have to do it in such a dangerous way.
Exactly.
There's a politician here in the town that we live in. I'm not going to say it on the internet. But in a town that we live in, the politician told me, we were having a discussion about abortion. I told him exactly what I told you. Why let people kill themselves? And he tells me, off the books, natural selection. And that's just a horrible way to look at it. Like, why let these people kill themselves?
It really is. It's it's. I mean, it's terrible if anyone kills herself. I don't support suicide at all. If you want to die, I mean, it's cool. We all have those moments, where we want to just
But it's not
roll
even
over and
suicide,
die.
It's just the fact that if
But
there's
it's
no
just-
abortion, these people have to take
Yeah,
a rusted coat hanger or like try to
and just
to
stab
kill
themselves
the
with it.
baby.
It's like no. The way I look at it, you should have known better. Like don't blame the kid for your mistakes. I've always said that. Like if somebody has a baby and they don't, they didn't want the kid or whatever, or they're mad at the kid for what they done or something, don't blame that kid. That kid didn't do it. That kid's just a byproduct. That kid needs to have a happy, filled life,
Yeah.
regardless. Brought him here. That's what I think. Every child has a right. Really, that's like, speaking of every child having a right and all, that's one thing that gets me, like, it's just, I never told anybody this, but I have a soft spot for children. I love kids. Yeah, they get on my nerves a lot, but it's children. We were all children once. We got on somebody else's nerves once.
Oh yeah, and thinking about how I was as a
But
freshman
kids
in
are
high school,
awesome.
dude, I
Oh,
really
God,
thought
I
we
would've-
were.
I would have kicked my own ass now if, you know, I seen myself thinking about it. But when you really sit there and you start thinking back and all, that's all, you know, like experiences and stuff. That's just prepping you for when you're ready to raise your own family, you know? You could be like, okay, so this is what I gotta look forward to, you know? And it's usually worse.
Yeah.
And it just, you know, incredible. It's incredible.
Alright, well, we should talk about something else some other night, you know? Or maybe even right after this.
Oh yeah,
But I have to
I could
stop
talk
the-
about, I
I
could
have to
talk
stop-
all night.
I have to stop the recording. We can talk about something else in a little bit.
All right.